Elias froze. The ink wasn't dry. It glistened wet in the beam of his flashlight. Somewhere above him, something moved. A slow, dragging sound. The hair on the back of his neck rose. Elias turned toward the staircase. His flashlight flickered, and in that flicker he saw it. A figure standing at the top of the stairs. Watching him when the light came back, it was gone. But the hum returned. Louder now, like a slow heartbeat pressing against the walls. He whispered again. "Who's there?" The house listened, and whispered back.
Stay.
Elias stumbled back into the study, slamming the door shut. But there was no lock, and the whisper was inside the room with him now.
Stay.
The rocking chair had stopped, but something else had started. A soft scratching sound, behind the walls, all around him like nails on wood. Elias pressed his back against the wall. He tried to tell himself it was rats, just rats, but the sound moved too slowly, too deliberately. It followed his breathing. He aimed his flashlight toward the shelves. One of the books trembled slightly. Then another, and then silence again. The hum ceased. The scratching ceased. Everything waited. Elias exhaled shakily. His voice cracked. "I'm leaving," he whispered. But when he turned toward the wall where the door had been, there was no door anymore. Just smooth, old wallpaper. The same blurred faces staring down at him from their frames. He dropped the flashlight. It rolled across the floor. The beam cut through the darkness, landing on the desk. The book was no longer blank. Every page was filled. When he reached for the cover, the leather twitched, a movement too subtle to name, too certain to dismiss. Still, he touched it. The pages whispered when Elias opened them. Dust rose like ash outside. The storm had outlasted the night. Rain slid down the windows in crooked veins, carrying the smell of iron and moss. Inside, the house shivered as though remembering how to breathe. The pages inside were yellowed and soft, their edges eaten away by years. Lines formed, shimmering. The house remembers what you cannot. Dates and entries appeared, some centuries past, others yet to come. Drawings crowded the margins, spirals, staircases, rooms that seemed impossible, echoing the strange geometry of the house itself. The walls shifted subtly, leaning closer, corners elongating. A shadow flickered, detaching from the far corner, stretching across the ceiling. Elias spun, but nothing remained, only the oppressive stillness. The journal fell open on its own. Ink appeared on the pages as if drawn from memory, forming images of the house, suspended upside down in the sky. A vast, endless plain and doors opening into voids of light and shadow. Elias stumbled backward from somewhere deep. A faint sound, not the storm, whispered across impossible distance. The soft creak of a gate opening. Elias moved carefully, the journal cradled in his hands. Each step seemed to echo through centuries. Time itself was stretched thin. Seconds hung in the air like droplets of resin, centuries condensed into heartbeats. The room continuously shifted around him. Corridors folded, staircases looped back impossibly. And doors opened into new halls that had never existed. The journal's pages shifted with the architecture. Words and drawings flowing like water into shapes he could not name. Visions came unbidden. The house inverted above him, floating across violet skies, the iron gate trembling in the field beyond the house. Rooms he had not entered yet stretching endlessly, awaiting him. He paused, hand pressed to the journal. A line appeared on a page he had not turned. "You are remembered. You belong here." A corridor shifted, a door opened, as if inviting him. He stumbled forward, heart racing. A spiral staircase appeared where none had been, stretching downward into darkness. He descended. The spiral staircase led him into a void of light and shadow. Rooms floated in space, Staircases twisted into infinity. Doors opened into nothingness. The journal pulsed in his hands, its words glowing faintly. Letters formed before his eyes. Sentences he had never written but knew as if remembered. Elias saw himself younger, older still, wandering the same hallways, touching the journal, standing before the gate all alone. He realized the truth. He was no longer a visitor. He had become part of the house's memory, integrated into its endless spiral of time and space. Elias fell to his knees, trembling, and understood the immensity of what he had entered. The house, the journal, the gate, all were alive, all were remembering, and now he was remembered too. When he looked up, the spiral had dissolved into the void. Only the faint shimmer of the gate remained, suspended impossibly in the distance. Elias stared at the journal. New words appeared, written in his own handwriting. You never left.